Now, our objective for this particular exercise is to leverage our forward deployed boxes in order to deliver localized payloads utilizing OS config in the Azure cloud. But before we can do this, we need to set up a callback server and load it with some tools. So let's do that next. So as you recall from the first video, I use DigitalOcean to mimic the forward deployed boxes. I'll also use DigitalOcean to set up my VM for my callback server. So let's take a look at what tool sets we loaded on the callback server. Our tool set here is simply 3 popular tools: Metasploit, obviously, the Social Engineering Toolkit, and Nginx Lite. Now, I include the Social Engineering Toolkit because it makes interacting with Metasploit easy, and it's really easy for beginners as well. Jumping back to our callback server, take note of your IP address because you will need your IP address in order to generate the Metasploit payload. Let's jump over to the terminal now. Let's log into our remote callback server, and we're going to generate the payload here, and we're going to use the SE toolkit to help us do that. We're going to get this menu here. We want to do number 1, which is social engineering attack, and then number 4, create a payload and listener. So let's select number 4, and let me expand the window here. And what we want to do here is the TCP interpreter shell number 2. So we want to reverse shell. So here's where you put in your IP address. And when it asks for the port, we want to put in a port people are most likely to go to, like say 443. So let's put in 443. And now it's going to generate the payload. And as the payload gets generated, when it's done, it's going to be placed into the .set folder. And then we're going to want to move that to the folder that serves up our web pages on this particular callback server. So no, we don't want to start the listener now, but we want to back out of everything and get back to the command line. And now we want to actually move the payload that was generated into our HTML folder for our web server, and we want to call the executable something people are most likely to click on, like kittens. Who doesn't want to click on a kittens exe? All right, so let's go ahead and move that. And I just want to verify that it's actually there. And now that we actually have the file there, we need to have our remote boxes actually pick that up, and I'll show you how to do that in the next video. Stay tuned.